today's video, we are going to be talking about tracking your data, writing it down or typing it on a document. And with that, I'm going to do a tutorial on how to create a very easy tracking sheet on Google Sheets. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, my name is Lorianne, and if you are new or returning, welcome. Be our guest, be our guest. Here at Excel Primary, we talk about teacher side hustles, and lately we've been doing a lot about teachers pay teachers. A lot is happening, teachers pay to teachers. I had to write notes. Let's go through a couple things. First of all, Teachers Pay Teachers Forward Convention, Conference, whatever it's called, they call them nowadays, is happening in a few weeks in July in Chicago. You have the option of going face-to-face or virtual. I think the deadline, if you're going face-to-face, is coming up really quickly. I'm going virtual because, yeah, I'm not going to be around. I might just make a video from England. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. TPT has also upgraded the menu bar, which I'm sure you've seen by now if you have been on Teachers Pay Teachers lately. And something that just recently happened, no email was sent out, but if you go to TPTU, I'll show you a page of it right here. They are eliminating some of the tags. And if you're thinking, what tags? When you upload a product, you actually have to put some tags in. I'll put a clip right here or in front of me here. These are pre-written tags from TPT. Anyways, they are now removing some of them, which means they're asking you to replace your tags. How you can find out very quickly whether you've got some is you go to My Products in your store area, and on the left hand side it will show you. For example, I use Math Centers a lot. They're removing that tag and just making it centers. Whatever. I don't believe the algorithm is going to be affected if you don't change them right away. Doesn't sound like it's major, but it might be something to add to your to-do list. If you've got hundreds and hundreds of products, do what you can. If you've got under 100 products, maybe try and do them over a few weekends or whatever. I don't know how long they're going to take. I'm going to try some myself, and then maybe in a future video I'll let you know how many I could do in, say, an hour. I have a few so there you go. Okay, so those are the new things. Also, UTM code, the way they've created it, is been updated as of the end of April, and in that, I think they moved it for VAs, is why I think they moved it. But while we're talking about UTM codes, let's talk data and tracking. Data and tracking. If you are brand new to TPT and you have, months, you're months old, first of all, congratulations, welcome to the club. Don't worry about this. Save this video for later. You don't need to be tracking data if I've only got a few months at it. Okay, and when I'm talking data, I'm not just talking earnings. Earnings are important, obviously. This is why many of us are selling our products for earnings. But there are more important ones that talk to us about what we need to be doing next. Those are the ones we're going to be talking more specifically about. When you upload a product, you need to give it time to be seen or not seen, right? You need time on the platform. How long is that time? I do not know. I think it depends on what you're creating, the grade you're creating for, topics, skills covered, all sorts of things. So I can't give you one specific answer. If you have been following me for a little while, I attended a SEO boot camp with Kristen Doyle back in the fall. I think it was the fall of 2021. It was excellent, the boot camp. She is doing a new one in the summer here. I'm going to put her link down below. It's actually an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you extra. I just get a tiny bit of a referral fee. But she, to me, is the guru when it comes to SEO. Okay, there's others. There's other people, right? But She explains it so clearly. I got her a self-directed course, and she has one module just on TPT. She does a lot of SEO with Google, SEO, your website, things like that. So she talks SEO in general, but she gives very clear instructions of, what to work on. And I really like that about her. So if you need a summer boot camp, you might want to check hers out. And the reason why I'm talking about her right now is one of the things that she says in the boot camp, and I've heard it a few times since her, and I think I might even have heard it before her, but anyways, she talks about there is this kind of percolating time that your product is on a platform such as Teachers Pay Teachers, and it needs to get a few hundred views. And the number that she used, and again, I've heard this by Misty Miller, and I've heard it from a couple other people, 400, okay? It's not a random, just throw a number out there. What they're finding is when you use a number like 400 or 500 or something like that, one sale will not affect the numbers too much. And that's what you want. They're looking for a number that will not affect it if you just had one more sale. Does that make sense? So what you are waiting for is your products to hit a certain number of views before you start really looking at it to say, what more can I do? That's why tracking is important. Tracking general overall stuff such as views and units sold and conversions and earnings and all these followers, they're all fine. But what you really need to be looking at is what is selling, so your top earners and those numbers, okay? So in a moment I'm going to turn around the camera and I'm going to show you a Google Sheet that I created. I used to use Excel, and I'll be honest, I gave that up over a year ago. There are some very good products, Excel, TPT spreadsheets available on TPT. Misty Miller would be one I would recommend. When I started, I used hers. I grew weary of Excel. I wasn't a fan of it before I started, still not a fan of it. Google Sheets works great for me. I can amalgamate them, I can keep them separate, right? I just like it. That's just preference, okay? So I'm going to show you how to make a quick, easy Google Sheets spreadsheet for your data. I will have one available in my TPT store if you don't want to make one. If you bought the bundle already, thank you. You will get it for free because I'm going to just add it to the bundle. But we're going to look at tracking your top sellers. That's the big thing. If you know what is selling in your store, make more of them. Make more of them. Whether that be the topic, the concepts, the subject, the skills, just make more of them. When I started tracking, when someone told me you should start tracking, because it had been about 3-4 months, and I just kind of glanced at what was my top sellers, I made about 3 or 4 more products in that line. Unbeknownst to me, I had made a product line. I was like, oh, and it's still one of my top sellers. Your one product that's selling well could turn into something big for you. So that's why we want to be tracking them. Another thing that tracking can help you do is, for example, let's just say you have a product that has 500 views and a 20% conversion rate. So what a conversion rate is the percentage of people that will buy based on those views that you saw. So if you have 500 views and you get a 20% conversion rate, 20% of the people that saw that product bought. In the world of online shopping, that's really high. In fact, it's so high that you might want to consider upping your price. You might be undervaluing your product. I had that exact same thing happen back in 2020 when like I said, one of my products, I knew I undervalued it. My goal personally was to get eyes on the product. I put something at $1. It was worth far more than $1. My conversion rate jumped to about 24, I think it was 24%. And I was at, it was selling every single day. In some ways, I thought I should have just left it, right? But at the other end, I hated seeing it being Even with the premium membership, I was making 65 cents off it. And that started to annoy me, right? You may find that you want to sell dollar products. That's just something that you might have to get used to. And I've raised that price. I can't even remember what the price is right now. I raised it, I kept raising it up 50 cents to see what the conversion rate was doing. And this is again something that Kristen talks about, raising it 50 cents, waiting a couple months, seeing how it goes. And the rate really didn't drop until I almost had it at $3. And at $3, then you don't have to pay that extra 15-cent admin fee or whatever they call it. Okay. So let me turn the camera around and so let me show you the TPT data collection that I will have in the my TPT store, and it will, again, if you've bought the bundle, you get this for free, and anything else that I add to the bundle. I have 3 sheets on here currently. This is the TPT overview, so you can do an overview by year. So just take the years that you've been in TPT, and I put views, earnings, units sold, conversions, followers. You could put reviews. You could do how many times people have looked at your previews, things like that. Just a general overview, and then I've added charts because I like visual. On the next one, I'm taking each month and putting in the earnings, views, conversion, units sold, and followers. So month by month, I'm putting in things. And again, I've put in the visuals just to see how certain months are performing over others. And then this one really is the most important one. This is the top selling products. I've just put in as a sample January and the views just for the month and a conversion rate. And what I did is I did some conditional formatting that if it is above 10%, just to keep an eye on it. Now, for the month of January, these products are over 10%, but I need to do some further looking if they are consistently that rate. Because if they are, I might want to consider changing the price, especially like this one having 25%. That's pretty high. So I have to look at that over maybe say 6 months. The other thing is this will pop up once in a while. I don't have a definitive answer for this, and if you do know the answer for this, please pop it down below in the comments. But there are going to be times when you will get a sale and there are no views attached to it. My theory on this one is someone wish listed it and they just bought it. So they didn't even go to the product, they just had it wish listed, or it was even perhaps sitting in their cart waiting for a sale. Mind you, January we didn't have sales. So either the person had it wish listed and just added it to their cart a month later or whenever, or it was already in their cart waiting to be bought, and that it just happened to carry over from another month. So these would be 0. That's the one you will see in my store, but let's go over to a brand new one. So I'm going to go to Google Sheets, New, and down below you would name your sheets. So you decide what you want to do, but let's just do data collection, and you decide whether you want to do per month, per quarter, per year. When you go to your TPT dashboard, you can you can do custom lookups. So a custom range, for example, it is now June at the time of this filming. Maybe you want to go back to January. Well, you can just go into custom range and put in January 1st to 31st, and then you can pull up the information for that. Even if you want to go back a few years, you can still do that. So it's not too late to get that information. Start with a sheet. Let's just do a month by month. Just keep it easy. So I'll make a name, monthly data. And then I'm going to put in here January, February, March. A row available at the top. So let me just insert a row above. And now I'm going to put views, conversion, earnings, units sold. If you want to do followers, you could do followers. You could do the amount of reviews that you're getting. Just open up your TPT store. I unclick the freebies myself. Some people don't bother with things like that, but I tend to just, because I find the freebies, they're not making me money, but they are getting me attention. Maybe look at something else you're offering that's not free. If you want now, in order to do something you can make a sheet if you wanted to for just January, or you could do, put a few months at a time on one like I usually do. But let's just say you've let's just copy these over, okay, and actually I did it again. You right click to insert one row above. In that row I'm going to write views, conversion, price, and units sold. I can move this over. One of the things that I like to do is I like to get rid of all the extra boxes if I don't need them. So one way I'll show you how to do that is just hold on down and then go straight across, and it goes to the letter Z, and then I right click, delete columns. You can always put them back. And then on the way down it goes to 1,000. Why it's 1,000, I have no idea. But again, a quick way to get rid of them all is I'll go down to about 40 or 50. Again, start in the numbers, start heading down, and I'm going to stop for a moment. Right up here it says line 30 or row 30 to 66. I'm going to change it to 700, enter, and then I'm going to right click it and see where it says delete rows 35 to 700. You got to do it a couple times, but then they're all gone. And again, I can change that to add maybe 10 more rows if I need it. And just hit add, and then it would add 10. But I like to keep everything kind of tight. But here where you're putting in your top, I'm just going to bold that to make it stand out, or you could color code it if you wanted to. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put February's underneath it, March's, April's, May's. Going to go to this column, and I'm going to go to where this little triangle is, and I'm going to add conditional formatting. I'm going to format the cells if the conversion rate is over 10. Okay, now 10 is just a number I picked. I think Kristen Doyle talked about that if you've got hundreds, if not thousands of views on a product, your conversion rate ideally should be between 5 and 7%. Now I don't have thousands and thousands of views on my products. Some of them are just sitting at the 300 to 500 range, and that tells me something. It tells me I can do more work with that. But I'm going to change this conditional formatting to greater than, and I'm going to put in value as 10. And then I'm going to just change the color a little bit. Maybe I'll stick it up and hit done. So every product that had higher than 10% of a conversion rate gets highlighted. And then they stick out for me. I'd have to look at all the months. Don't make a price change based on 1 month. If you've had a product on TPT for, let's just say 6 months, and you're getting these type of views, after 6 months, these are your views. Not 1 month, 6 months. Having low views tells you something. It tells you that your products aren't getting seen. So the first thing you would need to do is you've got to change your title to match something that people are searching for, and you've got to make sure that the snippet, the product description, is optimized. And I have videos about optimizing your covers and your products, because in the world of TPT with over 6.5 million products, you've got to get your stuff seen. And if they're not getting seen, if these are your all-time numbers, you're not going to get the sales if no one's seeing them. So if you've got low numbers after 6 months, let's try changing the title, optimizing your product description to get more views. Okay, and if you're getting a lot of views, let's say these were in the thousands, and I was still only selling 1 or 2, then I've got to look at something else. So they're getting the views. That means the title's good. The thumbnails are probably good, but maybe the price is too high. Maybe I haven't given buyers enough information in the product description for them to say, yeah, I'll buy that. The views can tell you something on those products. The conversion can tell you whether people have enough information, or the price is too high, the price is too low. So there's different things that they can tell you. If you've only got, again, 10, 20 products, don't be worrying about any of this. Save this video for later when you've had products on TPT at least 6 months. And by then I'll probably have updated this and done another one, because this is quite important. Your sales are very dependent upon getting views. And then once you've gotten views, that you have said enough for the buyer that they feel that that product can help them, and then they will buy. But this is just an easy way to make a spreadsheet for yourself. You know, some people will like to go down the column, some people like to go across the row. It's yours. But let's just say this January I got 500 views, February I got 750, March I got 330, April 400, actually April's a good month for me, let's say 800, and May 700. If I want to chart this, I just highlight the whole thing here, and then I go Insert, Chart, and there it is. So you can have some visual images for yourself. Very easy to do. Easy peasy. There'll be a link below if you need a template, and I have other templates. Feel free to take a look at them if you need one. If you are looking for one that I have not created, feel free to comment below. If you are using data tracking, let me know what you have found probably the most rewarding out of doing it. For me personally, I really do like having my data tell me what I should be making next. And there's sometimes where I go, I don't really want to make another one, but yeah, I know it's going to sell, and then they do. So, okay, next week's video is actually going to be a kind of a tour of TPTU and some of these new features that are now in TPT. This is just a theory of mine, but I do find that TPTU tends to get updated more than we receive emails. So I'm going to just give you a walkthrough through TPTU, which is the Teachers Pay Teachers e-course. And it's not really a course, but it's, I think they try and create it like a course. They should have more step-by-step pictures, but we'll talk about that next week. And then the following week, I'm going to talk about things that you can do to get yourself ready for the TPT conference. If you're going. If you are not going, go just make products. Just make products. Spend those weeks making products. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe, being healthy. Take care. If you are on summer holidays, happy summer to you. If you are still in school like I am, we can do this. It's almost over. Anyways, we'll see you in that video, or you can check out a whole playlist. Either one, they're good. Take care, everyone.